everyone, it's Karen of the Link Stamper here in Grand Blanc, Michigan. How's everyone doing today? Jingle Jangle's number 4. Is this the cutest ever? This is another Nugget with a gift card if you want, and or a card if you'd rather. Okay, so I'm going to show you two different ways to put this together. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so first off, 7.5, which I just started cutting, times 11. All right, so that's the first thing. Now we're going to score on the 7.5 side. We're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Now this is what I do. I go on this side because it's easier to manipulate the cardstock. So just go to 1/2 inch, which is right there. And then we're just going to score that. Okay. And then we're just going to do 1 1/4, which is right here. Okay. Now we're going to flip and do it again. We're going to do a 1/2 inch again. And we're going to do 1 1/4. All right. Now, if you're new to my channel and you've never watched me before, click the subscribe button. If you like what you see, click it twice. You'll get notifications, okay? All right. So now we've got both sides scored on the 7.5 inch side. Now let's flip this to the 11 inch side. Now there's a little bit more scoring on this side, okay? So you've got 2 7/8. All right. 2 7/8. 7 1/4. 7 1/4. 8 inches. 9.5. And 10 1/4. All right, 10 1/4. Get that right there. Okay, now let's move this to the side. And let's just take a few seconds here. Now you're going to see a whole bunch. I know you can't really see it on here. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4 different categories here of lines that we scored. Okay, so this area right here, we're not going to touch. All right, there are 2 score lines right here on this area here. We're going to cut this down until we get to this score line of the 4. All right, so it's really simple. I'm going to take my bigger scissors. I'm just going to cut where this one score line is that I've kind of bent so you could see. All right, now I already know that there's 2 right here, okay? Because see, here's the other one right here. I don't want that at all, but I want it to go up to the score line of this area right here, and then we're gonna have it nice and ready for our box. Okay, there we go. So that's what it's gonna look like. So go to this side, same thing. I am gonna cut this first. This just makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to go right up to that second score line. Perfect. Just remember, you see 2 score lines here. Don't just cut up to here. Cut all the way down. And then let's go this way and make a nice... I would use the bigger scissors just because you don't have to do as many cuts that way. And it'll be a little bit more exact. See that? Nice and these go bye-bye. Okay, so far so good. This is what it should look like for this area here, okay? Now, let's go and do this area right here, okay? Now, there's 4 different areas to cut through. Let's see if I can use my smaller scissors if I like. And I think I have them right here. Okay, so now this is going through 2, okay, score areas up to this 1 score line, which you will notice equals this area right here. See how it equals that? Perfect. Now, this area right here, I don't need this first score line. So I'm just going to cut this So it's square. And of course I cut it a little bit off. There we go. This one here, I'm going to cut all the way to the second score line. I am not going to cut this off, and I'll show you why in a minute. This one here, I'm going to cut to the second score line. But on the very bottom, I'm going to take this one right off. Okay, I don't need it. This one here, I'm just going to cut to the first score line and cut that off. Now let's make some wedges. Wedge, 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 and wedge. Okay, let's get this out of here. Okay, now this little guy right here looks kind of funky, doesn't he? So take your corner and we're just going to do a little corner tab on him. And it might be a little awkward, but it does look kind of nice when you have it all done, okay? And you only have to do it on one of these. You can do it on both if you want, but it's not going to be seen. So you just want to do a nice little curve on that. Now, see, it went up to the second score line. This was already cut. Then this one went up to the second. We cut the first score line right off. There we go. This is the first and second score line. We kept that. And then we will have a little bit of a lid for our top of our box. And then this, we kept this one we took off. Let's do the same thing on this side. We're going to go this way first. Go up to the second score line. Second score line. Second score line. Okay. This first one here on the very bottom, we're gonna get rid of it. Okay. And because it's red cardstock, I can just barely see it myself. And then on this one and this one, we're going to take off that first score line. Okay. And then we're just going to take this off right here. And there we go. And then just do a little bit of a wedge. Wedge, wedge, wedge. And we'll do a wedge here. And it just makes it easier to fold that. And now, if you want, you can definitely corner this. You don't have to. It's not really going to get seen. But if you want it more uniform, then go for it. There we go. All right. So, take a picture of this. You've got your little guys here, your little flaps. Okay, this is your lids, depending on which side is going to be your lid that you open up. And then this is part of your box, okay? Now, before we go and bend it all and all that fun stuff, we want to, I know, right? We want to add some cardstock, we want to add some DSP. So I have some DSP. And we're going to DSP here, okay? And just to show you what it looks like, this area here can either be a card. You can make a card and leave it like that, and or, because you're going to put something inside here as far as DSP. DSP on the outside here. Nothing in here. We're going to put something right here, okay? So those are the areas that we have to play with, okay? Yay! So let's get started. Okay, now we're all set and ready. We've got it facing this way, okay, when you're looking at it. So get your DSP out that you like. Your first area that we're going to really focus on is this area right here. It's going to be 4 1/4 times 4 7/8. 4 1/4 times 4 7/8. Now you might have to slim it down a little bit, but start off with that area. It just depends on how you scored correctly, okay? We could do it this way if we wanted to. It's only going to show a little bit, which is fine. That'll work too. That's not bad. But I'm going to use this side today. Okay. And we're just going to put this right smack in the middle of the two score line areas. And you can see, you'll see the score line area right there, okay? So it's just, you're just kind of fine tuning it so it looks good. And that looks great. Okay. You can always put a mat underneath this if you wanted to. You just would make this one, the DSP smaller. Okay. Okay. So what you want to do there is you want to have another piece of DSP, and this is going to be at 2 5/8 times 4 7/8. Okay. But before we do that, the reason I want this at 2 5/8 is if you wanted to make this like a card and open up, you could do that. All right. Or you could do a slant, okay, and which we're going to do that, and then you can put a gift card in there, okay? So it's up to you. If you'd rather not do the slant, you don't have to. This one here, I did a smaller area so you could still see the background, okay? You don't even have to put a gift card in there if you don't want to. It just depends on what mood you're in, right? So what I sometimes like to do is just give it a little bone fold. And while I'm at it, then I'm going to do a cut, all right? You can do it on your trimmer or you can eyeball it. So I want to do it from here to here. I've got nice long sharp scissors. And I'm just going to do an angle, hope it works out, right? And it does. See? Perfect. Now, you're wondering, okay, how are you going to do that paper? The paper's going to be all messed up. Nope, nope, nope. What I'm going to do now is, now that I've already got this already ready, I still want a little bit of a border. So I'm glad I cut this so I can figure out how much I want to cut off. Sometimes you can eyeball this. You don't have to do it this way, but I don't want to just cut the paper after I've taped it down because it won't have a border on this side. Okay. So what I sometimes do is I just put a little bit of an arrow there, and I'm going to put an arrow right about there. Okay. So I know where it's going to go, and I'm just eyeballing it really. Okay. I know I'm going rogue, and it may work and it may not. OMG. I'll take it. It worked. And if you're off a little bit, remember, you're going to decorate this. So don't worry about it. But that wasn't too shabby, I have to say. So you can fine tune it to your specs if you'd rather get a little bit more accurate. But I think that came out pretty good, actually. So, and remember, you can move this paper so it kind of fits to where you want it to fit, since it has this nice diagonal fit to it, right? And I don't have a problem with that. And even if I did cut a little bit longer here, that's okay. I'll decorate that area. You won't even notice. Perfect. Okay, so now I do have that little bit of an area. Okay, let's get some tear tape, and now we're going to make this into a really nice little gift card area, right? You've got a gift card in here, and you have chocolate. So you can't go wrong. You can't. Okay, so we're just going to put some tear tape right here. Okay, and make sure it's nice, and sometimes I burnish the tear tape on here, and if it's a little bit over, that's not a big deal. It's going to be taped down anyway, so don't worry about it. All right, and just to double check, I do want some right here, so I think I'm going to put just one more little area right there, just so it has a little bit more secure with just a little one. It doesn't have to be big. So I'm going to cut some of that off. I don't need all of it. And we're just going to put a little bit right here. Okay. And then burnish that. And then let's get this one off. Don't put any on here. That's where you're going to put your, if you do put some, then make a new one. Okay, now we're just going to finish this right up. Okay. And remember, it doesn't need a lot, just a little bit, so you've got just enough to put a little card right there, right? Perfect. Okay. Now, let's do the other side. Now, you've got DSP here, you've got your angle. Flip it. Okay. Now, this is the area that we're going to make a hole, and we're going to put it at 1 5/8 times 4 7/8. Okay, I'm going to use, now I know which way this is. This is this way here. So I want to make sure that this is going the same way as well, because remember, it's going to be seen. So I'm going to flip it like this so I can see where I need to glue it. I could glue it on this way, but I don't know. I'm just going to use my little guys on here. Remember, it's going to cut a hole, but that's why you want to put the DSP on here first. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now, if you want to put a little bit of a plastic little window in here, you can do that. If you don't have any windows, boo-boo, don't worry. You don't need any, okay? It looks just darling like that. So let's try this one right here, okay? And see, it doesn't have to be a lot. It could be just a little baby one like that. Now you get an idea. It won't be as big as this one. So we have to see if we like that style. It's not bad. You're only going to see maybe 2. And I kind of do like seeing all of them. So I think, you know what? This might not work. We're just going to have to go back to our stylish shapes. But I wanted to try the arches, and I wanted you to see visually the arches. So let's get the die cut machine out, and let's washi tape that. And just so you know, when you're putting this in you have to put this in your bigger embossing machine. When you're putting it in, you know that these little guys are gonna stick out. You can put them this way, or you can put them down where they will fit really nicely. They will not get cut, okay, when you're cutting everything up. So let's get the machine out. All right, I'll get this die cut. We'll be right back. Okay, now that we have cut these off, all right, we die cut that. We've got this nice and die cut. It looks pretty sharp, doesn't it? We've got the inside where our little guys are gonna go. Okay, so what I want to do is I usually like to give them just a little bit of a heads up here. I want it to kind of stay like neutral right there, okay? So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue, I know you can't see this, right on top of this lid here, because this is going to glue onto here, all right? This one is gonna stay open for just a minute, okay? But we definitely want to get this lid straight underneath here, okay? Super. All right. There we go. Now, what I want to do first is, because I can put the nuggets in separately. So let's just glue this down. Okay. And remember, you want this little guy to be open so you can go and get your stuff, your nuggets. And we're just going to lay this flat, just like this, okay? Perfect, perfect. All right, now take your bone folder and just burnish this area right here, okay? And then make sure this is nice and flat, okay? So just take your top of your bone folder, nice and gentle, and just make sure it's nice and crisp on the lines, okay? And your glue should be perfect. And that's the body of it right now. Super. Look how cute that looks. And you've got your candy cane showing. You've got some stockings showing. I think that came out really cute. And then this is my top, okay? So this is the area that they would go in and out to get their little nuggets, right? So we're gonna put some nuggets in, and we're just gonna slide them in, okay? And I've got a Christmas one here. Let's see. No, we'll put this one in first. And then we'll put this little guy in. Isn't this cute? Let's put the Christmas one in. Let's put the green and gingham one in. And then this little guy is last. Okay? You can make them all one color. You can do whatever you want. Then you want to take this and just fold it right down. Perfect, just like a regular box. And again, if you wanted to put a window, you could, but we're going to have it in cellophane, so it's still going to look just darling. OMG, that's gorgeous. That's so cute, isn't it? Now, a couple things. If you are doing something for your business, for a craft show, and you really want it just people to have your name and your business card, this is a great way to put this in as a business card. And you've got, you know, somebody's got this, especially when you put the cellophane on it. It's just a really nice way of showcasing your, you know, your little craft store. So this is a great way of kind of, you know, celebrating the season and letting people know, hey, buy from me. Hey. Otherwise, yeah, if you wanted this as a present, you could put this, put your little gift card in here. You can put an American Express in there. You can put whatever your little heart desires. You can put cash in here. All right. I mean, I just got back from Vegas, so if you want some extra and you want to put some cash in there, that'll work too. Okay. So that's a great idea. So these are two different ideas, depending on what kind of, you know, season you're trying to do and who you're trying to show to. Now we've got a lot of ephemera from last year and this year. I mean, I've got a whole bunch of it, right? So, I also have one of these guys, and I thought it would be cute to put him on here, but he's too big, which is fine. I could have stuck him right here if I wanted to, but I'm going to keep this. I kind of like those. I do. And I want to add more. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I have it all ready for you. Yes. Let's take the Modern Christmas. I had extra one of these little ornaments, and so let's put those on the ornaments because I think it looks darling. And we're just going to put this one right up here, okay, just so it sticks on there. And then we have another one to put up, and I've got some of the wonderful seasons of that we can put more little sayings on, which I think are great. Here's another one right here. There we go. Let's get this little guy. And I just love these. I made extra, and I'm glad I did. Just have these extra and on waiting for you to use. You can put some string on there if you want some twine. I don't think it's necessary. You just want to kind of want to put a little bit of embellishment. So we have the two from the Modern Christmas embossed. We've got some of these cute. I've got a whole bunch of these left over, so let's use some of these. I'm gonna just do a couple of these right on the ornaments. I do want to show off the ornaments. I think they're really pretty, and I'm going to put different colors because ornaments are all different colors. They look so pretty at Christmas, don't they? I just love those. I'm going to put one up here. Let's get a gold one. And let's put him right there. And then let's put one more right about there. And let's get another green. There we go. Okay. Oh, very pretty. And then for the red, I just want to get a couple of, well, I don't have very many reds left, do I? Just the big ones. So let's use the big guys. And I usually do them in odd numbers. Remember, 3, 5, or 7. So this one gets 3, that one gets 5. And that's gorgeous. Now, because this one has a little bit more ephemera on it, I'm going to put a little bit more of a saying on here, which would be really nice. You could do 'Tis the Season because it's going to fit just perfectly. Another thing I like about these, they already have adhesive on the back. So if you don't have time to put anything on here, as far as popping them up, you just do this, right? And you just put them right on there and they'll be perfect. But I have a little bit of time, so I'm gonna take the adhesive off, and then I'm gonna add a couple more embellishments. Okay. And then we're just going to add it right here on the very bottom. I love when you pop everything up. It looks so much nicer, doesn't it? Oh my God, that looks great. And then I've got a couple more little holly that I could use. Now, I wish I had a little bit of a stocking, just a little stocking. I would shadow that. I don't think I've got any in my little arsenal here. Oh, I do. Great. This is what I want. So when you have a little guy right there, but you've got the whole stocking, so what you can do is just put a little stocking right there. Okay. He looks cute. I always like to shadow, if I can, the same piece. So that's red on red. I would normally do a green on green, but I don't have it. So I'm just going to put just that little guy right there. All by his lonesome, which is darling. Look at how cute this is. Okay, so now you've got your cellophane. I always tell you how to put this in. This is 9x7, okay? And especially if you're going to sell these at a craft show, you really don't want people touching them and getting them all icky. So I like them in cellophane, especially since it's chocolate. And I think that is just darling. I love that we have the embellishments to show through. And then we just take this little guy right off. And now you can put a topper on here if you like. You don't need to, because this really speaks for itself. It's so darling to have chocolate nuggets in there. Any kind of candy. You don't have to just use the chocolate nuggets. It's not like I have stock in it. But maybe I should. I'll have to call my financial advisor and ask him about that. Okay, a little Hershey's, I guess. All right, so we're going to punch a hole. We're going to get some ribbon. And we're going to cut. I always do a double. All right, make sure they're even. And we're just going to put it right through my little hole that I just made. I usually do a slip knot first. If you don't have time to do anything except a slip knot, that's fine too. Just make the tails shorter so they're not long like this, because that looks dumb. Okay, so now I've got enough for a nice little bow. I'm just going to put that on there. And darling, oh, that was right on the money. Jeez. And I can still keep playing with that, but I think that looks pretty good. Now, if you want to put more ephemera, you can put ephemera on the outside if you like. Okay, it's up to you. It depends if you want to get rid of your ephemera, if you want to keep it for the next round that you're going to do. It's totally up to you. What you can do is you can use this, punch a hole, put one of these on as a tag, okay? And if you do that as a tag and punch that in there, you can add that as a little extra for somebody if they are giving this to someone. That's just an idea for especially for using up these tags, okay? Just an idea. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun to make, and these are darling, don't you think? I think so. I'm just gonna give this a little bit more of a haircut. And this is a great way of not eating your chocolate. Anyway, keep on crafting, okay? Jingle Jangles 4 is in the books. All right, take care. Bye.